Good morning, this is Cody with the Paladin Report. Today we're going to be talking about the Furman community. Every year, countless universities compete with one another to attract as many possible students as they can. Furman is no different. Whether you came here for the countless opportunities to get involved, the great academics, or the beautiful campus, chances are admissions influence your decision process. Today we're going to look at exactly how admissions attract students, and whether or not the image they depict is accurate. Furman Admissions employs Furman ambassadors, student tour guides who show prospective students around the campus. I sat down with one of these ambassadors, Junior Morgan Stevens, to find out about the details of attracting new students to the university. I began by asking her how admissions prepares her to give tours.
At the beginning of the year, we'll have orientation, kind of a reorientation to get you familiar with the things that we want to focus on the tours. So we do have a packet, we have a guide that says, all right, here's some information about this building, this building, this building. Try and stay on this topic, but again, feel free to make your tours as personal as possible. And so we're given guidelines, but the admissions office is really, they're great about letting us kind of take those guidelines and work with it the way that we work best. And we'll go out on golf carts and we'll visit the PAC. We'll walk in, take a look, get a feel for what that's like. We'll drive by the alumni house, the charity house, up past the athletic fields. And then we'll go to North Village, take a look at an apartment. We'll stop by the bell tower, obviously, naturally. And then we'll stop by a dorm room as well. Yes, I think the admissions office kind of creates this great, wonderful, perfect looking school. And why not? I mean, we are a great school, you know, we do great things and all that, but it's hard to, you're not going to sit on a tour and say, hey, well, this sucks and this happened to me and all this stuff. So I think you have to kind of strike a balance.
Morgan has some interesting views about the Furman community, but I was interested to see what a newer student might think about it. I went to South Housing to talk with Sam Gowdy, a freshman about to finish his first year here at Furman.
I think it's a pretty cohesive community. It definitely has its little niches, cliques, if you will, but I think that's mainly just because of people's certain interests. I don't think that once you're part of a certain clique, you can't migrate in between them with relative ease. I think that my initial thought process of how Furman was going to be has kind of held up. You know, I see a lot of the same people every day, which some people hate. I love it. I love being able to see most of my friends every day and say hello to them, eat lunch with my friends every day, eat dinner with a different set of friends, you know. So it's a very close-knit community in a really good way.
Curious as to see what a senior might think, I went to North Village and talked with Trent McCann about how he sees the Furman community.
First question, do you feel that the Furman community advertised to you as a perspective was accurate?
I do. I think they try to portray an image of active, high-achieving people who are all trying to attain similar goals, and I think that's accurate. I think with any large group, there's going to be divisions, but as a whole, I would say that the Furman community is cohesive, maybe even more cohesive than most.
It's clear what students think about the Furman community, but I was also interested to see what faculty might think about it. I sat down with Dr. Aaron Simmons to see what he had to say. He's a philosophy professor that started here 3 years ago and has been extremely involved since he joined the campus. I was most interested in first hearing about what he had to say about the marketing strategies Furman uses.
I think the temptation for marketing, whether it be admissions office or PR or whatever, is to make something singularly sellable so that it doesn't get lost among the competition. Part of what I think makes us placeable and identifiable is the fact that we do have this sort of compelling pluralism and compelling discourse on campus and different backgrounds and different views. Figuring out a way to have a coherence amidst that plurality seems to me the task. And I think in some sense that's where the intangibles, is this a place where people feel like they are wanted? I hope so, right? That's part of why I get engaged. It's part of why I do what I do. And I think most faculty on campus do the exact same thing, is because they want students that they work with to say, you know what, when I talk to that professor, or when I work with that staff member, or when I see Mr. Rick over in the dining hall, you know, that person knows that I exist and that matters, and that's enough. And, you know, that seems like something that we should be telling prospective students. We should be telling 17-year-olds, you know. I don't know how to put it on a t-shirt.
After talking to all these different members of the Furman community, it seems clear. It's impossible for a large, young group of individuals to not stratify when they're encouraged to think freely and do what they want. It's admissions' job to attract as many students as possible in whatever way they can. It's the faculty and staff's job to ensure that we can have more meaningful experiences once we are on campus. We are united through the faculty and staff, and those who came before us, and one another. This is Cody Edgar, signing off.